What's up, guys? This is Troy from Sweet Wraps. Today we got a Camaro. We're gonna do this hood satin black. We're gonna do this in real time just so you can see the time what it takes to do a satin black hood. Not really a long process, but it is something that you have to take your time doing, just so you won't break any clips and stuff like that. Right now we're gonna be taking off the hood vent. This is all the push clips that it has on it. What you're gonna do is just one by one go through these, take them off. If you have a trim clip tool, which is kind of a pry bar, something like that, it's a lot easier to get this done. You don't really need this. It does have notches in it, so you could use like a flathead screwdriver. Let's see if you can see this. This little notch right here, you could just pry a flathead through there, pop them off. These aren't really that bad to get off. What you're going to want to do is work your way from one side to another, just so you could have some leverage, or you don't want it just leaning there so it could break the last clips. So what I like to do is kind of crisscross, have it crisscross at the end, just so you could hold one side while you're taking off the other side, like this. And my right side is my dominant hand, so what I'm going to do is take this one off, and then kind of, oh well, this one's not that bad. But sometimes you want to take one side off. If it's a heavy part, you want to take one side off first, then the other. But this side wasn't that heavy, so you could just take off all the clips. It does have two tabs in the back, as you can see right here, that hold it in. So you're going to want to hold it on the front side before you let it all go, so it won't just fall and hit something and mess something up. Put those clips to the side. Now we're going to take off these two, I think it's 10 millimeter or 6 10 millimeter bolts. That's going to get off all the vents that we have here. And on these hoods, you don't need to worry about getting off those the windshield sprayers, because they're actually integrated into the hood, into this back area over here. They're under here. So you're not going to wrap the underside of this hood, so you really don't need to remove those. But we do need to remove this just so we could get all full coverage. Yeah, that's all we need to do. So what I'm going to do is going to get some 10 millimeter bolts. So if you got an impact or something, this would be awesome. This would be pretty easy. My impact actually broke, so I'm doing all this by hand. I'm going to work from the front this way just because it's closer to me. Hopefully these come off. Because sometimes these like getting stuck to that plastic area, like this one. You can see, I think that one broke off onto the plastic piece, or the plastic piece, the plastic side isn't holding, so the whole bolt itself, not the nut, but the whole bolt itself is spinning. What we do with those is we're going to try to get something pried behind there and see if we can get enough leverage for that bolt to spin, or that nut to spin off. Hopefully we don't have any other issues. I might have to get my impact to get that one off. With the impact, just that little torque that has, you might be able to just spin it off. But other than that, you can't really do much with those. A lot of these parts come like that from factory, so it's kind of a pain to get them off. But we're going to try not to break anything. What you can do, you could try to spray a little bit of WD-40 in there. See if it could loosen up that bolt. See if it penetrates that bolt. Hopefully. And if you do take these all off, what you're going to want to do is kind of put some anti-ICs on them. They do look a little bit rusty already. You kind of want to prevent that from happening. Oh man, yeah, that's gonna. Let's see if we could pry that a bit off the body so it could create some tension. Yeah, that's probably gonna need a impact. Or let's see if we can do it with this drill. Hopefully we can get it off with this. I think it just needs to spin faster. Nope. Yeah, that last one is broken inside there. I mean, you can't really do anything about it. Besides trying to get something in between to leverage where that bolt is connected to. And I mean, if it's already spinning, you might just be able to pop it right off. Let me see. Sorry about that, guys. Customer stopped by. So we did get it off. As you could see, one of these was broken. You could see that crack right there. That's why it wasn't actually spinning when we were trying to get it off. A lot of those plastic pieces do that. What you could do is use some epoxy to get a good seal, a good mounting point for it, just so it won't happen again. Do ask the customer what he would want to do with it, but it does have 5 other bolts for it to hold on to. It's not like it's gonna fall off, but it might vibrate without that one bolt just on that back end. But yeah, reach out to the customer, see what he wants to do with it. It is his car. Maybe he would want to fix it himself. You never know. So all you want to do is clean it down. We did use WD-40. It did get on that hood a little bit. You're going to want to wipe it down with your cleaner and then go over it with alcohol. Some isopropyl alcohol. I use 75%, just so it could strip that panel of any waxes or cleaning products you might have used. And you want to get this off also, so you could get all the dirt underneath this. So if you can see, it does have a little lip. You do want to wrap into that lip as much as you can, just so you won't have any lifting issues or anything like that. Other than that, you really don't need to remove it. If you're just going to be doing a color change, you can wrap underneath that if you have some tucking tools. But I like to get all this off just so I could get a good tuck on full coverage and prevent anything from lifting over time. Stuff like that, just and so you can clean it right, because if you don't clean it right, all the dirt underneath this is going to pick up while you're putting on the vinyl, and it's going to show in the vinyl itself, so you don't want that to happen. There you go. Everything's wiped off with isopropyl alcohol. What you're going to want to do after that is you're going to want to blow it off. That is not the only time you're going to blow it off. You're going to blow it off also when you have the vinyl on top of it, so I could get anything that the vinyl might have picked up. As you can see, this hood does have a bit of rock chips. Let me show you that. It has a rock chip right here, right there. Let me see if my camera actually focuses on that. There you go. It has one right there. There's a rock chip right here, and it has a rock chip right here. So yeah, it does have a bit of rock chips. So let's see if that does anything to the actual finish. But just having that in the video so you guys could see that if there is anything that happens to those areas, it's not anything underneath it. It's the paint itself. Okay, so after that, you're gonna want to measure out your hood. I usually use a 6-foot mini tape measure that I could just hook onto the other side of the hood carefully, right there, and run it across. You're gonna want to do a good 2 to 4 inches past. So right here, this hood is about 63 inches. You're gonna want to go 65 to 67 inches past, and just so you can get good coverage on both sides. You don't want to have it, you might want to just go 68 inches to wrap this hood, just so you could have a good amount to pull with, and you won't have any tension on those corners. The hood from the back side to the front is less than 5 feet, so you're good with that. As I said in previous videos, it's always good to have one of these racks around, not just for storage, but for actually measuring material. This has a bit of dust on it, so I'm just wiping it off. But as you can see, we have measuring tape here on the side. What I do is put it as far down as I can, or not all the way down, but far down. So all you need to do is untape this. You roll out what you need. In our case, 6 feet. 6 feet right there. So from right there, you can put it all the way to the bottom of that measuring tape. And we measure 68 inches, which is right here. Cut that. And you lay it on the panel as soon as you cut it. You don't want any static to pick up any dust in the air. You don't want anything to get underneath this vinyl before you apply it. So what you do is put it straight onto the panel. Put some weight on it just so it can hold it. Get some magnets and magnet your corners. Let's see, it's always good to cut further than what you need. So you could put your magnets on the fender side, because sometimes that leaves indentation on the wrap because of the pressure it puts on it. But since it's past that hood, you won't see it. And then once you have it on the actual panel already, this is where you're going to want to blow it off the second time. You're going to want to get anything that it picked up in the air. And you transferred it from and you transferred it to the rack to here. Should be good. Make sure everything's aligned. Make sure everything's a good amount past that hood. And from here, we're gonna peel everything off. We're going to start wrapping. What you're going to want to do is probably get your glove on before you peel anything off. There you go. Get your wrap glove on before you peel anything off, just so you can squeegee what you need to squeegee. Get your squeegee in your pocket and your knife, and we're good to go. There you go. So what I like to do is I like to start on these corners first, just because you're gonna have to cover these corners like 100%. So if you don't cover these corners, you're not gonna have enough material. You're gonna need to stretch that way. But as you can see here, we're past the hood, so we're good there. Also again here, you're gonna pass this corner, and you're gonna tack it down to that corner. You wanna roll this material. I'm gonna pass this corner. There you go. Pass that corner. And then I have everything straight as it could be. So from there, go back over here, pick it up. Try to make the top of that hood as straight as it could be. So when you pull it, it'll pretty much all glass out itself. There you go. And if you want, you could cut a little bit of the top end as well, just around the windshield wiper area right here, because you're not going to use any of this. Make sure you lift it off the car, just so you could have less tension right there. Make sure you have a fresh blade. Snap off your blade, and it'll make things a lot easier, as you can see. There you go. Relieve that tension, it'll make it a lot easier. There you go. It's a lot of back and forth, guys. There. As you can see, I'm trying to get the top of that hood as straight as I can with even tension. So when I pull it to the front, pretty much glasses itself out. Here you go, guys. Here's the peel. I'm gonna get it from the bottom. We're gonna keep tension on the backing. So when you pull it, actually kind of lay itself out. Now I'll throw this backing paper to the side, and from here you grab both ends and you drape it towards you. But what you're going to want to do, get one side as tensioned as possible, and on this corner where it's already flat, you're going to want to put a magnet here so it won't come out while you're doing the other side. A magnet or two. I'm just going to want to not let it lift over there. From here, you're going to want to lift to the middle and have tension to the ends. As you can see right there, it's pretty much all glassed out in that middle section. You want to put some tension on those corners, and you want to triangle to the corners. You want to have tension going to the ends. And right here, you're not going to need a lot of tension here. You're going to shrink that down. You're going to want to have the sides glassed out as much as you can. And satin is great because you don't really get a lot of adhesive dotting or sanding with satin. You get a lot with gloss. Same thing with this side. Tension to the ends. There we go. And just squeegee it. Make sure you have a good amount of tension going both ways. You want to have a good wide grip on this as well, so you won't be pulling tension to one single area. As you can see, kind of already straightened itself out right there. There you go. Once we add heat here, it'll straighten itself out. So as you can see, we already have the middle piece glossed out. What you're going to want to do is get some slip solution on your squeegee. Where is it? Oh, it's that side. Sometimes you want to just spray it onto the panel itself, just so you can see where you've already squeegeed, because if you don't squeegee the air out, it'll get trapped into there. And once you pull it out in the sun, that air will expand. You're gonna have to redo that panel. So all you need to do is work your way. Right here, we're gonna heat and push down into that recess. It's just too cold out here right now, to where the material doesn't want to set itself. So what you're going to want to do is attack those hard body lines first and work your way out to the edges. And once air gathers like this, you can just simply pop up the material and work that air out. And always make sure you have the attention to details on the corners or on the hard body lines, because sometimes it tends to bubble up there on the body line because you didn't squeegee it right. How was that? So make sure you overlap your squeegees, at least 30% overlap, just so you can get all that air out and have some firm pressure on it. We're gonna have to go over it with heat and pressure again, because this is a heat sensitive vinyl, which means you have to actually heat up the material so it can get the adhesive to activate. We'll just work out your air little by little. And right here we're gonna heat and pull to the front. What you're gonna want to do is you could actually wipe this down a bit. You don't want to have the vinyl wet while you're heating it. It'll create where it's wet, it won't heat, and around it, it will heat. So it'll create I forgot what it's called. I think it's called a dot. What is it called? There's a term for it. I forgot what the term was. But you see how I'm not even pulling it, I'm just relaxing it. And you can already see that the material has fixed itself to that edge. You're going to want to work from the top down. Remember, you haven't squeegeed this area yet. So top down. And we got majority of the hood already done already. From there, You're gonna want to heat these recess areas, relax them, and work into them. There you go. Make sure you get every single inch of air out of there, because if you don't, that's going to end up popping out once you park in the sun. That heat's going to expand those bubbles, so you're going to want to make sure you go over it with heat. Squeegee it down. Make sure you use the sharp end of your finger or the point of your finger to attack the very low point before you squeegee anything else. So all the tension will be at the sides of that low point, not into the low point, so it won't lift over time. So you're going to want to heat this middle area, relax it, work into that deepest recess. Just run your point, your finger point into that recess. And as you can see, we're getting full coverage right here, all the way to where that head scoop actually sits. Same thing with this side. Relax it. Run your finger point into that. You're going to want to run it with firm pressure, but not too much pressure, because if your finger snags that vinyl, it'll just crease it, and you're going to have to find a way to get that area up and redo it. So all of this, like I said, you're going to have to go over it with a lot of heat. Make sure you get every single air bubble out of there. Make sure you post heat it. There we go, guys. That's the middle of the hood. And as you can see, but you can't go over it with too much heat, especially if you're using the torch, because you will gloss it out. And as you can see right here, where we're going to trim it out, it glossed out, not on the actual hood itself. So that's fine, but you don't want this to happen on the actual hood. So from there, we're going to work out. All right, here it's not that bad of an indentation, so you could actually relax all this and push it in. But I like to work it in just so it won't have that much tension, and you'll have a longer hold. So what I like to do is work from the front, work my way back, but you're going to lift the vinyl so you can feed it into that recess right here. And as you can see, that's why you work from the top down. You're going to want to roll your finger over that hard body line first, because air gets trapped into there for some reason. and you don't want it to get trapped into there. So there you go. Just keep some light tension, and heat out your fingerprints. There you go. I'm gonna work it little by little from the front to the back, because the material just likes feeding to the back for some reason. I'm guessing it's because this indentation right here, since it's smaller here, you need less material and you need more in there, so it kind of just stretches itself to the back as you go. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to put that hood in the lock position, because what we're going to do is we're going to relax all these edges, and use the edge of the actual body that is not wrapped, so we could cut and have a uniform line throughout the whole end. So as you can see right here in these corners, what you're going to want to do is pick it up to where the material is hanging over the part that's not wrapped. And what you're going to want to do is relax it, and you're going to want to anchor it down to the part that's not wrapped. And you're going to have that little gap in between that panel. You're going to want to cut on the opposite side of the panel that you have wrapped, so you could have a uniform, maybe centimeter or 1/8 inch cut all around the vinyl, all around the panel that you actually wrap, so it could fold into the other side. So right here, you relax all that edge. You don't pull. You don't want tension on these edges, so you don't pull. You just relax them and run your finger along that edge. And as you can see, it's uniform through the whole edge of that head. You want them to be straight too. You don't want to have any wrinkles on that. So relax. Run your fingers. There you go. Relax it, run your finger. These back end edges are different. What you're going to want to do is roll the film around that edge and you're going to cut it straight to the edge that you rolled it around. So whatever is tacked down, that's all that you're going to want on the actual hood itself. So once you already get around that edge, you're going to put your knife at like a 90 to 45 degree angle, and you're going to cut at the edge that you already put down. So you're not going to have to worry about rolling it over that edge, because the bottom end of this side of the hood is way different from the front. I said before, roll that around the edge, and then kind of keep it straight while you're working to the back. And I want even tension throughout this whole panel. So work from the top down and from the front back. So from the top of the body line down, but from the front of the hood to the back of it. From there, you're gonna find what the material wants to do. From here to the back, and little by little, it's gonna do its thing. Just lay by itself. Once you get that flow, it's gonna want to lay by itself. It's not gonna fight you. All you need to do is put a little bit of tension on it, and it's gonna lay by itself. You can actually pull it to the back a little bit, and bam. So you're gonna have a little tension to the back end of the hood. You just gotta read the wrinkles. There you go. Read the wrinkles. And there you go. Got a fully wrapped CAMARO hood. Sometimes you'll have a little bubble or two. Use the air release on the back of the vinyl. So all you need to do is push your thumb on it. Now spread the air throughout the channels, and it'll get out eventually. Like I said, you want to go over everything again. The heat. Make sure you're not too close if you're using the torch. You will gloss it out. Try not to hover over the same area for too long. You want to keep this moving as you're heating. Relax the edge, run your finger through the edge. There you go. There you go. Leave it there. One chip right here doesn't want to fully, there you go, they don't want to fully sit. So from here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your blade on the edge of that Let's see. I'm gonna get a close up on that. You're gonna want to put your blade on the edge of this right here, this body, and you're just gonna want to run it. So right here. I'm gonna have a uniform cut all the way through. Just like that. Just like that. Same thing on this side. You're gonna want to do. Let's have that as straight as you can. And just run it on the edge. And stop right here at the corner. And what I like to do is create a little square so you could finish off that corner and have it hug onto the corner besides just cutting it like that. You're going to want a dimple tool. They're called dimple tools. They look like this. This is how a dimple tool looks. So as you can see, just two round ends. And let me have you guys put over here. I'll show you right here how I do these. How I do these corners is how I lift it up to here, like about a centimeter away from the edge. And then you're going to want to stretch past the edge with this dimple tool. And what that's going to do is create a little pocket, and when you heat it, it'll actually hug around that corner. Let me see if I could get that for you. Let me get the torch and apply some heat, and this should just hug around that edge. Let's see. There you go. And you could see, created good edge around that. What you want to do is you're going to want to work around that edge. And what I like to do is just get underneath that edge and cut a triangle like this. So I'll get right underneath that edge and cut . So what you're going to want to do here, work around the corner, get this to the edge again, trim that. From here, you're going to heat and use your finger now to go around that edge, tuck it in. So you can go to that and this. You're going to want to work from the top end down. You don't want any bubbles just lingering on that top edge. And as you can see, this corner just needs a little bit of heat, and massage it into there, and you won't have any pullback since it's actually anchored on that corner. From here, okay, let me see. From here, all you're going to want to do is heat, relax all this edge, and work it down and around those edges. Not with a lot of tension, just try to not get any creases, and try to like roll it around that edge. You can't really get full coverage on this back end because how this hood is made, the hood just stops like maybe a little, like quarter inch from there. The actual piece, like the top up part, because hoods come in two pieces. The top end is kind of like rolled around the bottom end, and this roll is kind of like just right there at the edge. So kind of want to get it as far in as you can to where the material sticks. As you can see, it kind of doesn't stick to that bottom edge. Well, we're gonna roll it around, get it to stick as far in as we can. Like I said, you want to heat and roll your finger on that top edge so you won't have any air or anything holding you back from having a perfect edge. From here, kind of gonna want to cut this just so you could have less tension. I'm getting tension right here for some reason, so there you go. Less tension, roll it around, all that around that end as much as you can. Like I said, it kind of doesn't want to stick to that bottom edge. What we're gonna do, 45-degree angle. I'm gonna run this knife on that angle all the way through. I don't know if you can see, guys, from there. From there you have perfect coverage. You don't see any of the red from that edge because you rolled it around that edge. Same thing, just go over everything again with heat and pressure. You can see right here. I'm gonna cut out all that. Heat. Start from the corner and work it outwards. For some reason, if you work towards the corner, it just makes that worse. So heat and work outwards from the corner, and then it'll tuck itself in. Same thing over here. Ooh, that was really aesthetic. There you go. Same thing over here at this edge. You're gonna wanna use that dimple tool so you can hook it around that edge. Same exact thing. Let's see. Right there. I'm gonna want to lift it just a little bit, and you'll see where the actual indent is, or where the corner was already squeegeed down. Kind of just want to work your way around that. Way around that. trim this to size. We're getting tension here, so same thing on the other side. We're going to do on this side. Cut that tension off. Work around it. And then after all this, we're going to want to hit it with the same cleaner that we're using. And we're going to clean it all off because, as you can see, it leaves like stains on it. There you go. This edge, top edge, work your way down. Probably just put music over this because I'm just repeating the same stuff over and over. What is that? Why is that like that? Oh. Okay guys, as you can see, this head, I guess he picked up his wiper or something and it scratched that head. So right here it's gonna look a little bit weird, but it's not the vinyl, it's what's underneath. So yeah, I thought it was me for 1 second, but you know, I'm professional, you know. Work that edge. Get some good heat. Tack that down around the edge. Same thing with this. All that. And then same thing. 45-degree angle. Make sure you have some tension on this while you're cutting through, just so you can have a more uniform cut. If it's wonky, it's because you didn't have enough tension on it. Here we go, all the way to the edge. Cut this corner, triangle, triangle, and then we'll finish the other side right now. You're gonna wanna heat, work around that corner. Use that heat. Make sure you slowly work your way around these edges. Like I said, your finger will catch the material if it gets too hot, and if it has enough grip on it, you're just gonna wrinkle the material. Looking good, looking good. Everything's good. There's a little wrinkle right here, like I said, look. As you can see right here, wrinkled a little bit, so all I'm gonna do is pick it up with my fingernail, open the hood, pick it up with my fingernail, heat it, and it'll go to its original form. And we're just gonna squeeze it down again, and everything will be great. Everything will be perfect after that. So what you're gonna do, here, open the hood, get the torch. So all we're gonna do right here, let me get you guys over here. What we're gonna do right here is lift it a bit, as you can see right there. See, that's already past those wrinkles. I'm gonna heat it, and there you go. They're done. They're gone and around the edge. And we're gonna want to go over all this edge again and make sure it's tacked down to the bottom side of the hood. As you can see right here, let me show you. I'll show you up close and personal. Right here. There you go. Same thing on these edges right here. Just want to heat a good amount. As you can see right here, it's all wrinkled up. Just lift it, heat it, and go back to its original state, and gently work it around that edge. You don't want any wrinkles. The slower you work it around that edge, the least possibility you'll have of it wrinkling on itself or creating wrinkles. But as you can see, we're pretty much already done with this hood. Alright, let's see if we could get it close up. On this work of art. There you go. Let me go to the back. I have to go to the back of the car so I could squeegee all this up. There you go. And we're done, guys. All we need to do is trim out that middle piece. And we're good to go. I don't know why I was closing it. We don't need it closed. We're gonna have to open it and put in that middle piece again. Let me show you guys these. All you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to roll your blade on that edge. Hold on. You might need to. I think this side actually feeds in a little bit more. Where's my? There it is. I guess you really don't need to do it this far into the hood. So you could, this hood scoop actually literally goes up to here. So what you're gonna want to do is just make the most uniform cut you can, just so it won't look all weird. For me, I guess it'd be right about here. You don't want to push hard on this vinyl to cut it. You just want to just let the blade do the work. Just lay it on there and guide it to where you want to cut it. You don't want to push it, you just want to score it so you could rip it off. You don't want to cut it all the way through so you could lift it up. You want to score it so you could lift or tear it off. So from there, all you do is that. On the edge right here, good to go. Then I'm gonna get another blade because these black blades aren't that great. They're super dull for some reason. There you go. These are better. There you go. Way better. Yeah. So what you're gonna want to do is just run your blade on the edge, wherever this metal is going, that's where you want to go. I'm just gonna run it all on the edge You're just gonna want to have that tip like barely going into that underneath that vinyl. Like if this is vinyl, you're gonna want it to pass it just like a hair, so it can make it easier for it to glide on that body. If you have it too low on areas like this, you could cut the paint on the bottom, and you don't want to cut paint with the blade because it will go through all the paint and it will go straight to the metal. And as soon as water gets underneath that, it'll start rusting. And a lot of these newer cars don't have that grade of metal to be rusting. I'll eat through it real quick. So yeah, keep your cutting gentle. Don't cut through the paint. And this is the last cut right here, guys. There you go. Bam. That is it. Just want to heat the edges, make sure it sits right. There you go. With all the corners. Bam. Make it look stock. It'll look like you're playing that way. There you go. That's all you need, guys. Once you get that done, you get this head scoop, put it back on, because it has a clip on the back end. It's going to hold it on the actual body itself where you need it to go, somewhere like that. There you go. Lift the hood, put those bolts back on. The one that didn't come off, I guess you'll just give it to the customer. Tell them that you're able to get it off without breaking your vent. I mean, that's pretty much all you could do. I mean, if he were to take it off himself, the same thing would have happened. As you could see, I did it by hand first, so there was no way to get that piece out without getting it out like how I did. But yeah, just be honest with your customer. That's why you have this video. Like I said, this has 6 screws on it, so I doubt it's going anywhere. But just for peace of mind, you always want to tell the customer what happens to their car. Always. Not a single time do you want to dance around a single thing that happens to their car. Honesty goes a long way, guys. And I'm comfortable recording this whole process because a lot of this stuff happens with plain maintenance. I mean, if you ever wanted to get this piece off, if you ever wanted to do anything else, if he was going to another guy that wraps, it's all going to be the same. A lot of this stuff happens regularly. It's not something that is like it never happens type deal. So you always want to get it on camera. There you go. Now all we need to do is put this back on. And how these go, like I said, it has 2 little things right here, so you can actually put it in to rest it on. You lift it up. These you have to have them out while you put it in. Let me see. You have to have these out while you put it in, and then you secure it by clipping it in. You always want to do the part closer to you. Since it has hooks in the back, you'll do this part, it'll hold it up You could put everything in after that without worrying about it falling or you having to hold it up. All you need to do is put them all in. Super simple. I actually like this hood because usually what you have to do is actually take off that heat cover to get these vents off. And these heat covers aren't really all that great meant to last. So they fall apart, they crack. It's hard to get all of it off without one side falling down and the other side having to hold one side to get it all off. But there we go, guys. All done. All we're gonna do is spray it again with my cleaner. Go at it with a clean rag so it could be all one color. So it could be all uniform. There you go. The only reason it looks like that, guys, is because we put the cleaning product and we let it sit on one area more than the others. So kind of one spot's dry, one spot's covered. There you go. But once you're ready to go over everything with the cleaning product that you just used, which in my experience, or what I'm using right now, is McGuire's ceramic coat. It's really great for wrap. Makes that hydrophobic ability really show in these materials. Every vinyl wrap that you get is gonna have a little bit of hydrophobic in it, which means keeps the water off a little bit more. But every wrap comes with it already in the material itself, so you don't have to worry about putting stuff like this on it. But if you do put something like this on it, it'll just make it a lot more hydrophobic. Make the sheen look a lot better. As you can see, it looks a lot more shinier. It stands out a lot more with this product on it. That's why I like using it. And it keeps the UV rays from actually beating down on it all that bad. I do have a spot over here that I have the tape on it. All you need to do is get some isopropyl alcohol, which is 70%, 50%, doesn't matter. You just want to get that adhesive residue off, which is super easy. It's painter's tape, so just that little rub. You can see that we take it off. And look, this is how you could tell if your material is ceramic coated or not. Alcohol just it doesn't do anything to the vinyl, but it does remove whatever you put on it. So as you can see right there, that area right there is not covered in any ceramic coat. So if you can see, if we go over it again, wipe it off with the dry side, not the alcohol side. There you go. Now everything is uniform, covered, protected. There you go. And this hood is done. There you go. That is a finished product of Sweet Wrap's satin black hood wrap. Great looking finish. Everything's covered and ready to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a happy New Year's.
Sweet!